All right. So, welcome to another edition of performance management. In today's class, we shall be looking at planning and operational variance. I'm not the type that use formula, though. Just skip this formula. Just keep it right. So we may what we may use it. We may not use it. Most likely, we may not use it. Right. So just leave it there. So maybe if you are just confused about the whole process, you can make use of it, but then you don't need it. I feel you don't need it. So our planning and operational variance, right? And don't forget that in every organization that most of us here work in an organization, and you have what we call planning, right? You need to do a proper planning. When you do a planning, then you look at it. What will be the result, right? In the what operation. Now, a planning variance or revision variance comprises an original standard with a revised standard that should or would have been used if planners had known in advance what was going to happen and why an operational variance. Now, what is planning? Planning is you have to compare, you know, maybe you compare your 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 original, right? You actually compare your original standard with the what with the revised. If you know that there will be a fuel subsidy today, excuse me, you will have purchased more. So so if you know that there will be a fresh you will have a fuel subsidy today, you would have factored it in maybe in 2020 then, right? We don't know, right? If we had known that this thing will happen, we would have what we would have included it, right? So planning, so it changes as a result of revised, as a result of what happened after, maybe as a result of the macroeconomic factor. You could see what is happening in our economy today, right? So, and why operational variance compare the actual with what with the revised. That is, this is the actual result, right? Then this is the actual that we have, right? Then what would be the revised? Revised means that what would have happened, or what would happen, what will actually happen in the world, maybe in February or maybe in December. So you have to like compare what you have as actual, right? And what revise, so that you will know maybe you actually plan your operation very well. Class, am I communicating? So you look at it, okay, this is the actual, okay, what is the revised? That is what eventually what happened. So you need to compare these two together. So the actual and the revised. Then the planning compare the original, right? And that is that original I called it that original, what did I even call it self? Original, I call it S ante, right? It's S ante and S post. We have S ante, S brother and S sister. You can just leave it like that, you know. Excuse me. So to be S ante, that is your original, then S post, that is your what? Your revised. So planning. So so my message here is for the planning, you compare original standard with what? With revised. Then for operation, right? You compare the actual results and revise. Now, what it means is that you set a standard. What now happen then? Because things changes, plan change as a result of the macroeconomic factor. What now change? That is the revised. Now, you have actual results. That is your actual. Then when you have actual, what now happen after you have this actual results? So that is why you have revised standard, right? So we'll get there. So you can just leave this formula, you can leave it, right? So you will see how we solve this question. Class, we should not also forget that under material price variance, you have the standard price minus the actual price times what, class? The standard price minus the actual price times what, class?
Actual quantity.
Quantity sold.
Actual quantity, right? Right. The actual what? Actual quantity purchased, right? Now, the same thing under the planning variance. Don't forget, planning is your original and revised. You can also call it S ante and what? S brother. S ante so that you remember. S ante and S post. S brother or an S sister is equals to what? S brother and S sister is equal to either favorable S brother or favorable S sister. Is that not so? So now let's quickly look at this illustration. Uh, illustration. Okay. Now, please can someone read for us? First, don't forget our method, right? So, what is the required? Who will read? Hello? Hello?
Hello, yeah, we can hear you.
Please now, who will read? Who will read? Where is Fumi?
Okay.
No,
Okay, can
no,
I read?
no, please. Who is that? No, no, Mr. Steven, no. Fumi. Fumi, are you still with us or against us? Okay, I guess she's not with us. Okay, you can go ahead and read, please. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, required.
Thank you.
Compute the following variance for the month of October for each of the products and in total.
Okay.
1. Material price planning variance, material price operational variance, material usage variance, and material usage operational variance. B.
Okay.
What are the benefits of planning and operational variance to a management accountant?
Okay. Okay. That's
So,
fine. That's
I
fine.
go by the question.
Okay.
Pestle Limited produce cake and bread, which it supplies to a major supermarket in Abuja. It
Okay.
holds low inventories because it adopts the just-in-time system.
System. Thank you. Thank you. What is just in time system, class? What is just in time system? Class. What is just in time system? Ewe. Chineke. Try. Hello. Ah. Are we still together like this?
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Are we
Yeah.
still? Yeah. So what is just in time system? If someone is operating in just in
Uh,
time system, what does that mean?
Just in time
That's
system.
throughput.
Hey, that's throughput.
Like
Okay.
You purchase more like the materials needed, you buy it as it is, don't keep it.
Okay, 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 that's fine. So which means that if you enter a restaurant today, some of the restaurants in FCT, then maybe you order for maybe fried rice or and chicken, right? For instance. No, sorry, is actually my favorite, so I have to mention it. So you sometimes you just have to wait. You just have to wait for 30 minutes. They operate on just in time. It is only when you need it they will do what? They will actually produce it, right? That is just in time. But there are disadvantages to this system because if I'm seriously hungry, I'm seriously hungry and what I want to buy we what let's say we what about 500,000, you know, with that I may not be able to wait. I may not actually wait for that period, maybe 30 minutes. I may not wait for that 30 minutes because I just want to eat. Is that not so? So with that they could lose customer and also by extension their revenue will reduce, right? So sometimes so it depends on the organization. Let's say the restaurant, let's say some restaurants, it should be there, but you can also have the food ready, then you can just at least microwave it and do some other things, right? So that's fine. Please go ahead, Steven. I guess this is your first time in my class. I've not been seeing you
Yes, yes, this is my first time.
investing. Okay, right, right.
Okay, okay. The standard cost of the wheat used in baking the products is 200 naira per kg.
Okay,
Each piece of cakes use 0.5 kg of wheat,
okay.
which each loaf of bread uses 2 kg of wheat.
Thank you. So which means that if they want to produce this wheat, right, it will cost them a standard cost, right? A standard predetermined cost per unit, standard class. Then if it is 200 naira per kg, then each piece of the cake now will now be you will use 0.5 kg per unit for one output. Then the other output, you will use 2 kg per unit for the other output, which is bread. We have cake and we have. So there, picture it then. So we can write it out. Let me do small analysis here, right? So we can have suggested solution, suggested, suggested solution. Uh, I think suggested solution. What is the diet? November, November 2015, right? So now we can analyze it this way that you have your quantity standard, you can have standard quantity, standard price, sorry, right? To be what is the standard price? 200 naira, 200 naira per kg, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now they have cake. This is how you analyze your question. If you have been following our classes, you could see the way we analyze question, right? So I just want to bring all these variable out. Cake is 0.5 kg per unit, while bread, how many kg? Class, how many kg?
Bread, that's 2 kg.
2 kg. No, 2 kg per
Two
what?
kg
Okay.
per
Each
unit.
loaf of bread is
Per
2
unit.
kg of wheat.
Okay, yeah, with the loaf, right? That's fine.
Yes.
Now, if this is the case, no, now you can call this as your original or you make it, you can call it standard, or you can say this is original, right? Coming, I have to drag this, right? So, what happened now? Okay, right. So this is your what? This is your original. Original. You can call it original. Original, or you call it S and T, S border or join. So excuse me, right? Now excuse me. So you can see that we also have budgeted. Is that not so? Budgeted units. Is that not so? The production level of cake and bread for the month of October were as follows. We have bread 240 and cake 380. So it's part of it, right? Uh, budgeted budgeted unit cake. What is the cake? Cake is what? Class.
That's 380,000 units.
380,000 units. Bread. So what is the bread? Bread is what?
240.
240,000 units. Right. So all this is your S and T, S border, S everything. Right. So we are done with this part. So we move again. What's next? So we have the actual production, right? The what? You have the actual what? Actual production. Then we have the actual cost of wheat in October was 232 naira per kg. Then 496,000 kg of wheat was used in to bake the bread. Why 190 is for what? Is for cake. So actual result. Then you leave another line. Say you use this one as actual price. Actual price. So what is the actual price? What is the actual price? 232, right? 232, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Excuse me. Per kg. Then actual units or actual production. Actual, right? Actual production cake bread. So what is the actual production for cake, class? What is the actual production? Hello?
Okay. Okay. The actual production. Okay.
Yes. Are we sleeping?
No, we are there.
240 units. What of for bread? What is the actual?
That's no bread is
360,000.
360,000.
360
So mute up.
units.
Mind
okay.
just
Actual 240 bread.
Right? Now, after
Yes.
that, you have 496,000 kg of wheat. That is the actual quantity. Is that not so? That is the actual quantity. Actual quantity. Actual quantity. So cake, what is the actual quantity for cake? Then what is the actual quantity for bread? Class, what is the
Okay.
actual quantity?
Okay. The actual quantity
It's
is
496.
190 kg, 190,000 kg.
496 kg.
That's for bread.
496 kg. That is for what? Is for 496 is for what?
For bread.
Okay. Please confirm.
190 is for cake.
For
190 is for cake. 496 is for bread.
okay, 190 kg. Please confirm if I arrange this actual production. Is it okay
No,
like that?
sir, it's the other way around. Bread is 240, cake is 360.
Thank you.
Sir. Okay.
Thank you. So this is 496,000 kg, right? So this is the actual result, Abi. So I can double this. You can see the analysis, right? So this is what you will do so that you can pick your figures and you move on, right? It's very important for you to analyze it this way. Uh, so this is actual results. So what next? We need to look for our revised. What happened later. So we read further. We need to read further. The global prices of wheat increased by 18% in the month of October. Class, the global price of wheat increased by how many percent? By 18%. Now, class, you will not change. You have you have already have you have a plan, then you have actual results. Then because of the macroeconomic factor, things change. You already have your operation, you already have the actual. Your actual will not change. Now, if the global price increase, it means that your standard, right? Your original, your S ante, that is, it will now what? It will change because you already planned for this, but because of unforeseen, right? Something happened that is revised, class. So your actual is already there. So in this case, if the global price, what is the standard price? What is the standard price or what is the original price given from the question?
200 naira.
200, right? So we can come down and say standard. So we can say uh we can call it, I don't want to call it revised. Let me just leave it like this. Standard price or change in price. Let me use that word, change in price. Right? So it's now increased by 18%. So the standard is 200 before. So now there is a change now because of the global price. So 1.18 times multiplied by 200 to give you the increase. So what do we have here?
236 naira.
236 naira. Makes sense. So that is the increase. It increased 100%. Just add 100 plus 18. 118 divided by 100, 1.18. Move. Or you say 18% of 200, then add it to 200. So anyhow, right? Now, so next, what happened after the global change? What happened after the global change? At the beginning of the month, the supermarket group the supermarket group made an expected request for an immediate shape change to the cake, resulting in cake. Now, they want to change the cake at the beginning of the month because of there is a change in the global price. They now say, okay, the sharp change to cake, resulting in 5% more wheat than previously required. It means that they will need more additional 5%. Class, they will need additional what? Additional 5% than more wheat. They will need additional 5% of cake, right? So, which means that what is that? Is the quantity that they will use to produce cake. Class, is the quantity that they will use, right? For the wheat. They have to do what? They are for the cake, they have to increase it, right? So, in this case, we can have change in quantity cake. So what is the quantity for cake? The standard? What is the standard? What is the standard?
We have 0.5 kg per unit. 5 kg
0.5
per unit.
kg times 1.05. So what do we have? What do we have? Figure, please.
0.525.
0.525.
0.525 kg. Now, which means that there is no change in bread. Bread will remain the same. Bread quantity will remain the same. So what is the bread quantity? 2 kg, because it wasn't stated that they will need that the bread quantity will change. It wasn't stated, right? It was not stated in the question, right? Now, what next? What next do we have after this? Okay. Now, this change also brought about production delays, which caused a reduction in production by 20%, by 20,000 units of cake in that what? In that month. Class, from the standard again, because as a result of this change, right, it makes the cake to reduce by 20%. You have to reduce cake unit by 20%, right? Because of the increase in the price. Don't forget, the price increases, the kg increases, while the budgeted actually what? Decreases. So we can say change in budgeted unit cake, right? So what is the standard? The old one that they are, what is the standard? The standard is
380,000.
380,000 units minus the reduction is 20,000
20,000.
units. So what do we have?
360,000 units.
360,000 units. Why bread will still remain the same? Bread units. Bread budgeted units will remain the same. What is the bread budgeted unit? What is the unit? What is the unit budgeted?
240,000.
240.
240,000. Right? Now, you see this thing that you just did here? is what we call revised, right? Revised. So you can copy this. So Control D. Okay. I can duplicate this and say this is what? This is revised.
Our class will end in 12 minutes.
Okay, that's fine. Revise. Thank you. Revise, or we don't want to call it revise, you can call it S post. See, tactically, we have solved this question. Like seriously, if you can be able to do this, we have solved the question already. Honestly, there is nothing more, right? So, so this is what we have. This divided into three: the original, which is S ante, the actual results, and the revised. Now, if this is established, now we pick the question one after the other. Class, I hope I'm communicating right. 11 minutes. So please, when it is 3 minutes, please let me know so I can create another link. Thank you. So material price. Material price. The first question is material price planning variance. Do you know what we'll do? We'll calculate the material price planning, then we'll calculate material usage planning variance so that you will not get confused. Because if you do it like that, but you can still come back and restructure it the way they asked the question, right? So we can just arrange it this way. Probably we do material price planning variance, material usage planning variance. Then we move to operational price and operational usage, right? So okay, so are we good? We are good, right? So
Yes, sir.
now if you look at this, don't forget that I say anything that has to do with planning, you compare original and revised, or you say I don't want to. Okay, if that one will be fine for you, original and revised, original revised, or you say or you use S ante, S border, S ante, S border. S ante is original, revised is what? So in this now, don't forget. So in this we can have, because it is price, is that not so? It is price. We can have original price minus revised price. Now don't forget, when you are doing your material price variance, when you have class, don't forget, when you are doing your material price variance, you have standard price, actual price times the what? Actual quantity. Is that not so?
Actual quantity.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So in this case now, you can now say times what? Times actual quantity. What is the actual quantity? Times actual quantity. Can you see that? Do you need to cram anything? Absolutely not. You have nothing to cram. You say original revised, then material price. Okay, material price, standard price, actual price, then actual quantity. Yes, you move on. Are we together? So 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 what is the original price? Okay, we start from, we need to pick it from cake, right? Cake. So what is the original price? Original price. We quickly go back and check. That is the standard. What is the original price? 200.
200 naira per kg.
200 naira per kg. Right. So 200 naira minus revised. You come here and check what is the revised. 236, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 236. Right. What is the actual quantity for cake? Actual quantity. Let's check. What is it?
190,000 kg.
190,000 kg. Okay. Times 190,000 kg. So class, is this favorable or adverse?
Adverse.
Okay. Is it favorable? Another, if you have any other opinion, let me know.
Exactly.
Is what? Is adverse, right? You said,
Yes.
you already said the
Yes.
standard 200. Something happened again, you have to have a revised price. So it has increased. Then you have what we call adverse. Wow. Wow. What happened to my phone now? Okay. When you multiply, what do you have? Give me figure.
6
Million eight hundred and forty thousand.
million 840,000.
840,000 adverse. That's why I told you that tactically, right? You have solved the question. So we will just continue here. We will do material usage. Please, you can arrange it the way they arrange it to material usage planning, because but you can leave space, because I don't want you to, because it's kind of confusing, right? It's confusing. If is it up to 3 minutes? Is it up to 3 minutes? No, it's not up to 3 minutes now.
5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, that's fine. What happened? What happened? Lydia and Juliet.
So I did not solve for bread.
Okay,
Yes, that's
okay.
what I wanted to ask. Is it because there's no change in
No, no,
bread? That's
no,
why I
no,
don't
no,
understand.
no, no. Bread. Sorry about that. Bread is 200, right? Bread is what? Bread is what? 200 minus the revised. Don't forget that the price is revised price, is global. The price that was mentioned did not state that it is for the price that was mentioned. It is not stated. It wasn't stated that it is for wheat, or it is for cake or bread. It is the standard price, right? 236 times, what is the actual quantity? What is the actual quantity for
490
bread?
496,000 kg.
496,000 kg. Don't forget that. Okay, is this okay, adverse? Okay, what do you have?
17,856,000 adverse.
856,000 adverse. Please, are we still together? Are we still together, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Now, material usage planning. Now, because the question, I think the question says material price operational. Now, if you want to, you can just leave. I don't want you to get you to confuse, right? So that is why I say I want to do material price planning and material usage. Now, for the purpose of the exam, now you can leave space. You can leave space, right? You can leave a space for the material price operational variance. Just leave a space, then you move to the next one. right? Or you can just do it as a rough work, okay? Planning, material price plan, because it's confusing actually. They knew what they are doing. That is why they actually arranged it that way. So material price, you can just do it as a rough work, material price planning, material usage planning. You use it like that, then you can now copy it according to the what, according to the requirement, right? According to the question. This, that, right? So material usage planning.
Like 2 minutes.
Okay. So it's 2 minutes, right? So okay. So let's quickly create another list so that we can continue from there. All right, thank you. Okay, if time permits me tomorrow, if I have the time tomorrow, that relevant costing, right? I may actually solve it as well. That November 2020, I think 2020 thereabout. It was repeated in May 20. I think I don't even know. Maybe May 2020, November 2020. Right? If there's still enough time to do that, and just watch out. Just watch out for. Okay, we'll talk about the forecast topic at the end of this class. Thank you. So, material usage planning. We are still on planning. Original. Don't forget that this is usage. That is quantity. Is that not so? And from our previous knowledge, original quantity minus revised quantity, right? Minus revised quantity times what? You say standard quantity.
Original price.
You say what? Times what?
Original price or standard price.
Okay, thank you. Times standard price. Let me use standard price so that you know. Standard, original, right? So we can move. You can see, do you need to cram anything? No. Original S
Nope.
and T, S brother, S and T, S brother. Just remember S and T and S brother. All original, revised. Original, revised. So original quantity for cake. Original quantity for cake, 380, 380, 380 unit minus what is the revised? Away. What is the revised?
360 units.
Okay. The revised is 360. 360. 360 times what is the
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. Why are we, sir? Sorry, sir. We used units here,
yes now?
but we used
Oh,
kg
oh,
there.
oh, 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 that's true. Thank you. Thank you. So, what is the original quantity per kg, per unit? What is the original quantity per unit? 0.
0.05 kg.
kg per unit. Okay. Thank you. 0.5 kg times per unit times. Don't forget that you cannot compare original quantity and revised. Original must have element of what? Of the revised. Is that not so? Class, is that not so?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, times what is the revised quantity? What is the revised quantity?
360,000.
360,000. 360,000. Just like the way we normally do quantity under material usage. You compare standard and actual. Standard must have element of actual. Is that not so? Units minus, so revised quantity for cake. So what is the revised quantity for cake? What is the revised quantity for cake? We don't have it as well. But the quantity is what? 0.525. Is that not so? Hello, class. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 0.525.
Okay, 0.525 per kg. So what is now the actual? So we can have 0.525 kg per unit, right? Times the actual, which is 360 units, times what is the standard price? What is the standard price? The standard price. What is the standard price? 200, right? Hello? Hello? Juliet, what happened?
Sir, please, I have a question. How is the original standard quantity 360?
Uh-uh. Original standard, that is budgeted. What is it? Is it 360 or 380?
380.
380.
Okay, 380.
No, sir. Usually say that budgeted usually have
Okay, element of, okay.
element of actual or
Okay.
revised.
That's true. Now, this is original quantity. Now, what is the quantity? My take here is this is original. Original is standard. Now, original must have element of actual. If you have been following, if we have watched the videos of our variance analysis class, so you need to make it to have element of revised, right? It must have element of revised or element of actual, right? Do you get Juliet, right?
Yes, sir.
Now it
Yes,
must
sir.
have element of revised. If it is actual that is here instead of revised, it must have element of actual before you can compare both of them. You cannot compare both of us. You cannot compare I and Leslie. If you don't have something in common, you can't compare us, right? So the revised quantity of this is the revised quantity per one, then multiply by the actual. This revised is just like the actual. Just picture it like that. Then when you multiply it by the actual 360, you have this. Then you can now say, oh, original before, ex ante, now ex post, after. That is what? Actual, right? Do you get?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So, is it favorable or adverse? Please, God, just give me figure. Is
It's
it
adverse.
okay? Bread. We do the same thing for bread, right? So, what is the adverse?
That's 1,800,000.
1,800,000 adverse. So, we do the same thing for bread, right? We do the same thing with bread. So, we can have. So, what is the standard quantity? Class, what is the standard quantity? 2 kg, right?
Yes.
Okay. I need to confirm if the network is still fluctuating. So, I need to know so that I will not be
Right.
talking to myself. So, 2 kg times the actual, right? Because it must have element of actual. So what is the what is the revised? Sorry, what is the actual? What is the revised quantity? So you can
2 kg.
revised units. sorry, what is the revised unit? You can see it still remain what? 240 because the unit did not change. Is that not so, class? Did the unit change? No. Class, is that not so? So you can have here as 240 units times, okay, we already multiply, minus, so minus, what is the revised quantity? Revised quantity for bread, class?
It's 2 kg.
2 kg, thank you. Still remain 2 kg. 2 kg per unit times the actual. What is the actual quantity? What is the actual unit? Sorry. So what is the
40,000.
okay? 240,000. Still okay. Yeah, that's fine. 240. Right. So times the standard of 200.
200.
So what do we have? Is it favorable or adverse?
That's 0.
0. Right. Now we have done. We did for material price planning, material usage planning. Right. So what of operational? 4 or 3. What of operational? Material operational planning, operational variance, not planning. Is it planning? Hello,
Yes,
class.
planning variance.
Okay, planning variance. Okay, that's fine. Operational material price, operational variance, material price, operational variance, right? So material price, operational variance. So don't forget that at the beginning we said if you want to measure your operation, what will you use for your operation? Where is it? The first one is planning. The second one is, can you see it? Can you see it, class? Can you see it clearly?
Yes, sir.
Actual with revised, actual and revised, actual and revised, actual and revised, right? Actual and what? And revised. You can say ex post and actual. I don't want to use that. We can use actual results with what? With revised, right? Actual results, actual and revised. So we can have actual price minus revised price. Don't forget the actual price. This is price, right? Price, material price, actual quantity, right? Right, class?
Yes.
Okay. Please, if you are in this class and you don't understand what we are doing, you are on your own, or you're lower, then you are on your own. So, cake. So, what is the actual price?
232 naira.
Wow. Okay, let me confirm. Actual 232. Please also confirm me to confirm. 232, right? Then, Kudus, are you still with us? Kudus. What's the law? Who again?
So kò tí ì lọ
Kò tí lọ.
ó wà níbí o.
That's fine. So revised price. What is the revised price for cake?
236
236.
naira.
Okay, that is global, right? Thank you. Revised 236. Then the actual quantity For kg,
190,000 kg.
190 kg. So what do we have? Is it favorable or adverse?
Adverse 760,000 adverse.
I disagree with you. It's favorable. It's favorable now. Hello, is it favorable
Oh,
or
okay.
it's favorable? Do you know why? Right? Because your actual
Okay.
okay, I'm with you.
Okay, what they spent
Mm,
is lower than what
thank you.
um
The
they
what
actually said.
yes, what happened is that the actual result is 2-3. You already said something that you will have 250 naira. Then as a result of global economy, something had changed, right? But that stuff did not actually directly or indirectly did not actually affect you. Is that not so? Because what you spent, it is, don't forget, it is a cost variance. It is cost variance. So what you spent as actual, can you see what you spent at actual is what is lower than what will happen in the future. Class, picture it that way. Material price is a cost variance. Your actual is this, and you now have revised of this. That your revised it does not mean that that is what happened. That is the actual. It is not. The actual is 232 what? Two the actual is what? 232, right? Then
Yes.
okay. Now you can change it. You can say revised so that you will not get confused, right? You can say revised actual. Class, you can actually change this thing. Please, you can change it to please let's even change it. Let's change it so that you will not come and say is revised price and actual. So revised is like your standard, then the actual 2 3. So is that clear now? So what do we have? Is it clear now?
Yes, sir. We have 760,000 favorable
760,000
naira.
naira, 760 favorable, right? So we have, you do for bread equals to same thing. Do we have revised? Okay, global
It's
revised. So
232, 236
236 is still the same
minus
thing.
230.
232. Thank you. That is global price. Then the standard times what is the actual?
496,000 kg.
496,000 kg. So are you the only one in this class? Where is Leslie? Where is Perere? Perere. Where is Perere?
So we are here. So
Uh,
my name is not Perere.
it's fine. So what do you have? So favorable. Quickly, what do you have?
1,984,000 naira
984,000
favorable.
favorable. She say her name is not Perere and I want to give Perere something. So since your name is not Perere, I will move on. So material. So the next is material usage, operational. You know, we've done for planning. Now it's still operational usage. Material, uh, material usage, operational variance. Class, are we still together? Are we
We
still
are, sir.
okay. Makes sense. So don't forget revised, this is quantity, right? Revised quantity, right, minus actual quantity. Don't forget, from our material usage, times what? Times standard what? Price. Is that not so?
Standard price.
Standard price, right? Standard what?
Yes, sir.
Standard price. Please don't write STD. No be me teach you that one. Standard what? Price. So cake, right? So what is the revised quantity? Revised quantity, can you see? Revised quantity for cake 0.525. Is that not so? Class, hello? Um, the usage, right? The usage. So revised quantity for cake. Can you see it? Revised quantity 0.525, right? 0.525. Revised quantity. Don't forget that revised must have element of actual. Revised must have element of actual, just like what we did here. Original have element of what? Revised. So revised must have element. So per kg times, what is the actual quantity? What is the actual quantity? What is the actual quantity for cake?
360.
360 units minus. So the actual quantity, what is the actual quantity? It's given already. What is the actual quantity for cake? Let's check. What is the actual quantity for cake, class? 190, right? Hello?
And
One
Okay. 190 kg. If someone should send message that we are back. Oh. Okay. 190,000 kg. So is this favorable or adverse? So is this favorable or adverse? Hello, figure. Figure. Oh. Chai.
we want 1,000.
1,000. Is it favorable or 1,000? Okay. Times, you didn't multiply it.
Times 200.
Times 200.
Yeah.
Thank you. So what do you have?
That's 200,000 naira adverse.
200,000 naira adverse. So the next one is for bread. We'll do the same thing for bread. So what is the revised quantity? It was not revised, but we repeated it. This is the
2
revised
kg
2 kg times the,
multiplied by 40,000
thank
units.
you, the actual 2 kg times 240, which is the actual, minus, what is the actual quantity?
496,000 kg
496,000 kg. So times the standard,
times 200 naira.
200. Kudus, are you still in this class? 200. So
Is
is
with
it?
his
Yes.
babe.
It's
Is with his babes.
Eh.
we babe. I'm not with babe.
The
Eh.
ones we heard their voices in call.
Ah, it's Fumilayo.
I don't want. Okay. I get. So what do we have here?
That's 3,200,000 advance.
3,200,000 adverts. Don't forget that they said in total we are supposed to be adding them all together. 3,200,000 adverts. So this is what we do, class. This is what we do. Total. We start from the total price. So we say total. Total is equals to, right? We have adverse now. Add the two together. If you add 6,840,000 together, 6,840,000 plus 17 million days, what do you have?
That's 24,696,000 advance.
Okay, total. We are supposed to be adding it, right? 24 million.
696,000.
Okay, 696,000 adverse. So you do the same thing for this. You add it together. Total.
1,800,000 advance.
Total 1,800,000 adverse. Next,
2,744,000 naira favorable.
total, right? Total 2,000,000. 2,000,000 what?
744,000 naira advance. Favorable.
2,744,000. You can see the way they solve it in your part, right? It's confusing, right? You just have to understand this pattern, right? Favorable. Then the lastly, total
3,400,000 naira advance.
3,000,000. 3,400,000.
Yes, sir.
3,400,000 adverts. So, distinguished professional colleague, I think I've been able to explain this variance like a newborn baby to you, unless if you say you don't understand. I think I've been able to explain it like a what? Like a newborn baby, newborn baby, newborn. So it is what it is, class. We are next gen professionals. We solve questions the way students will understand, right? So you don't need to cram anything, just understand. Just understand. Can you see the way we did S auntie, S brother, S sister? You don't want to just picture it that in planning variance, it is original and revised. In planning what? In planning variance, original and revised, right? Then in operational variance will be revised and actual, revised, actual, revised, actual, revised, actual. Just picture it, material price, and you are looking at it. What should I multiply with? Oh, but just look at it that picture it that material price, okay, standard price minus actual price times actual quantity, okay, times actual quantity, right? So class, it is what it is, right? So you can answer the B part. Please answer the B part, right? So just check and answer the B part. So class, are we good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so prepare for the um okay.
So